December can be a very devastating period for many property investors when it comes to defaulting tenants on their December rent. But you might be asking a question, why do we find so many defaults when it comes to tenants and December rent? But think about it, a lot of people get paid early in December. So by the 15th, you find that a lot of people already have their salaries. Now, at the end of the day, the next salary run, you'll find that maybe it's on the 25th of January or at the last day of January next year. So if now I get paid on the 15th, right, and then I blow my money, so I still have all of these weeks that I still need to be able to navigate through. And that is why we find that by the time that the 1st of January, a lot of people don't have money. And then of course, then the rent doesn't become a priority. But to you as a property investor, that is a priority, because that means now that you now need to cover, the financial obligation around it. If now you have a bond, you still need to pay the bond. If there are levies that needs to be paid, you still need to pay that. The rates still need to be paid, you still need to cover that. So it becomes a huge inconvenience towards you as a property investor. But Gavin, what can I do, to mitigate against this risk? Well, there's a number of things. Number one, you could maybe look at discussing all of this with a tenant upfront, let's say at the beginning of the year. So you will then run, that rental payment, according to their salary run. So if now they will they'll be paid on the 15th of December, you now will be able to make them aware that you'll be collecting rent on the 15th of December. And you can play around, obviously, because they can say, look, I'm paying you early. What are the, what is that benefit to me? So you can pretty much maybe say, oh, look, for the next couple of, the remaining days, I will be able to maybe give you a concession. So I will then give you a discount, whatever the case might be, so that at the end of the day, they don't feel like they are paying you early and they're not benefiting from that. So you can just have a discussion with your tenant to say, look, it's actually to benefit for you to pay the rental much earlier than, in the 1st of January, because by that time you run the risk of now maybe you have finished the money and you cannot pay me. So try find a way that you can be able to have that discussion with your tenant. But I would also advise that you offer some concessions, some discounts for your tenants for paying you much earlier, right? So that's number one. Number two, this is what I found out, through social media, and I thought it was cool. So what you can then do is that you can also build up, pretty much, the December rent, and you can build it up during the year. So you can charge a bit extra so that money goes to the December rentals. But again, these are the discussions that you can have with your tenant, and then you can also tell them that you will offer discounts and concessions, because remember, at the end of the day, if I'm paying you extra for something that's still coming, they need to be a benefit to me as a tenant. As much as, yes, I don't have to worry about paying you on the 1st of January, but I'm paying you extra, so that money could be going into my savings account, it could be going somewhere else, so now I'm paying you. So you need to then be able to then do something that will benefit me. So concessions, discounts, that can also help, because remember, at the end of the day, if you are offering a discount, it's better than you not getting anything and now having to run around and look and trying to get your money from the tenant, and that will be it's a headache on its own. So those kind of things can help. The other thing is the rental insurance. So a lot of people don't know about the rental insurance, but there is such a product where you find that a lot of companies are offering the rental insurance. So the rental insurance, basically what it does is that it will cover, whenever there's defaults, or you find that you have problematic tenants that don't want to vacate, don't want to pay, don't want to vacate, and it can also cover legal fees as well when it comes to evictions. So all of this definitely can assist you in some way or the other, but of course there's a lot of them, so I'm just gonna stick on the 3 because of time, but I hope that this definitely assists you. So number 1 is where now you have a discussion with your tenant, and you can then pretty much run the debit, or you can collect whenever they get paid. If they get paid early in December on the 15th, you can run that, but you can also offer them concessions, you can offer them discounts, which can also then help them, or it can actually just excite them, motivate them, so that they can then go along with your plan. Number 2, you can then basically factor in the December rent during the year, again offering some concessions to the tenant themselves, because at the end of the day they will be paying you extra, so you need to give back. You need to be able to give them discounts that will benefit them at the end of the day. And the last one that I covered was the rental insurance. So this is a product that you can then take with the financial institutions that provide that or the insurance companies that provide that can then cover you whenever there's defaults, whenever there's evictions, that you can be able to know that you are covered. So that on its own, the rental insurance is charged normally on the rental income. So there will be a percentage that they take from the rental insurance. So I know the ones that I know, it will be 3.5% of the rental income. So they charge that. So that definitely assists, and it gives a peace of mind as well. So hopefully